Hello friends, welcome back to networking tutorial. So let's start our today's topic. Yes, introduction to ASA firewall. Yeah, so these are the agenda for today's topic. In this particular video, we're gonna look into the ASA firewall and overview of this product and also have the traffic flows or the control on an ASA firewall. What are the different capabilities of ASA firewall? The default traffic flow of ASA firewall, the to traffic and the through traffic, and how do you control on an ASA firewall. So let's start our today's topic. Yes, this is the firewall introduction. Firewall is a network security device that monitors incoming and outgoing network traffic and decides whether to allow or block specific traffic based on a defined set of security rules. So now the question is where this ASA firewall evolved from. Cisco initially they had their first product as a firewall. It was called the Private Internet Exchange or the PIX firewall. This is the one. In 90s they came off with this product. In that time it was a firewall that did have some VPN capabilities for remote access. They could do remote access VPN by using IPsec, L2TP or PPTP. The PIX firewall did not have at that time the capability of doing VPN based on SSL. So Cisco was looking for the product that they could integrate with their firewall device to give an end user for the capability of doing both. So what they did was they went out and brought a company by the name of Altiga. At that time, Altiga had a product by the name of VPN Concentrator. As the name suggests, it was a VPN box and it has to do the ability of SSL VPN that could do IPsec VPN too. So initially what Cisco did, they sold the two products, the PIX firewall as the firewall product and the VPN concentrator as the device that would terminate your VPN like LAN to LAN VPN or it would be remote access VPN. So initially they kept on selling it as two different products, the PIX and the VPN concentrator. And then in the early 20s they combined the capability of two products into single product called Adaptive Security Appliance known as ASA firewall, which basically was the combination of firewall of the capabilities of PIX firewall and the VPN capabilities of your VPN concentrator. And that's what the ASA firewall is came into the picture. ASA firewall overview. So these are the some points what I already covered. Here we are talking about first physical firewall, that is PIX firewall. This firewall had some limited VPN capabilities. Then Cisco acquired another company by the name of Altiga. Altiga had a product of VPN concentrator. It was known for its web VPN security concept. Then they integrated that VPN concentrator capability with the PIX firewall capability, and that's where ASA was born. So basically the ASA is the combination of firewalling of the PIX with web VPN capability of the VPN concentrator. By default, all ASA act as a completely layer 3 device, and now And nowadays it has ability to run RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, and now you can even run BGP on the ASA firewall. Obviously, static root is always be there. So it's essentially a layer 3 device, just like a router. But unlike a router where once routing is established on a router, all the traffic is allowed through the router. But the firewall is a security device. So in terms of access, what type of access is given through the firewall, that is not done automatic, right? So there are some certain rules which need to be followed for the traffic to be allowed through the firewall. And yes, you do have the ability to turn this layer 3 device into a layer 2 device, which can also act as a firewall, which is called as layer 2 firewall. It will cover in this video series. This type of firewall in Cisco is known as transparent firewall. Normally, when you configure the router interface, you just need to assign an IP address and bring that interface up. For example, in router, suppose the interface is interface gig 0/0, IP address that is 10.1.1.1, subnet mask 255.0.0.0, and you will do a no shutdown to bring that interface up. That's how the interface will up on a router. But on a firewall, the same thing is done in a little different manner. You do need to assign an IP address. So this same address supposed to be assigned on a firewall. You will do use the same command, but besides the IP address, two additional components that you need to be configured on an interface on an ASA firewall. These two components are required components besides the IP address. Number one is the name of the interface. That's done by using the command called nameif. Nameif inside. That is the full command. Suppose you want to apply ACL. So you will not apply ACL on gig 0/0 interface. You will apply the ACL on inside interface, which points to gig 0/0. That is the physical interface. So the name of the interface is the required component because all the other command will point to the name, not to the physical interface. The other one, which is even more important, is also known as security level. Security level determines how secure is the traffic on the particular interface. It is something like trusted and untrusted traffic. The most trusted traffic is the traffic coming from the interface with the security level of 100, which is the highest security level also. And the lowest security level, the one that is I don't trust at all. Generally, the internet is the interface with the security level of 0. You determine the trustworthiness of the interface by specifying this security level. So this is another very important command that you need to be specified on the interface. So in order to have the interface up and running, you need to have the nameif command and a security level. Suppose let's say you have a blank interface besides your nameif, then by default it will set the security level to 0. Actually for all names except inside, it will default set the security level to 0. So this is the special name, that is inside. You will use the word inside, they will set the security level to 100. Any other name, it will set to 0 by default. And also it is not case sensitive for the most part. So whether you type inside in uppercase, lowercase, mixed case, it doesn't matter. If you use the word inside, it will set the security level to 100 by default. So it is not case sensitive. Yeah, coming back over here, it is a layer 3 device. ASA is a layer 3 device. It is a layer 3 device, has all normal functionality of a router. It can run RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, and even BGP, also static route. By default, a router will allow all the traffic, but ASA will not allow all the traffic. It has some certain policy. There is also some certain thing which is different from a normal router. To bring up the interface up and running, it requires additional 2 commands besides with the IP address. Yes, this is the interface configuration. This is how to configure on a particular interface in ASA firewall. We require 3 parameters to bring the interface up and running in ASA firewall. That is name if, security label, and IP address with a no set command. The IP address, there is something that is nice about the ASA firewall. Let's say I was setting an IP address 192.168.1.1/24. /24 is the default mask for this because it's class C. The ASA recognized that, and if you want to assign this to your interface, although you do have the ability to type the mask, but if you don't, it will take it and it will apply to the default mask for this class C, which is /24. So when you go back to the running config, you will see it is automatically set. That means it will automatically set the mask to 255.255.255.0, which is the default mask for this particular class. But suppose let's say you have to set the IP address 10.1.1.1 and the subnet mask, that is /24 for this particular IP. I put the IP address like 10.1.1.1 and then I press the enter. It will take the command, but when you go back to the running config, you will see that the net mask will set as 255.0.0.0. Why is it so? Because it's class A IP address, and for class A, the default mask is 255.0.0.0. So it will take the subnet mask for class A, that is 255.0.0.0. When you have two interface, let's say two interface assigned to your firewall interface, first one outside and another one is inside. Outside is the untrusted one connected to the internet, and the inside is towards your corporate network, and the security label set to 100 for the inside network. For outside network, it is set to 0. Let's say you done all the routing and the connection has been established. But now what traffic will be allowed to go through the firewall by default? Now by default, all the traffic going from high level security to low level security is allowed. So people from your corporate network have the ability to go out to the internet. The firewall does stateful inspection and inspect all TCP UDP traffic. This is also called implicity inspection. It creates a state entry. When the return entry is coming back from the internet, it's gonna check the table called the state table or the connection table, and in the connection table you will see a return entry which was created when the traffic was allowed from high level interface to low level interface by default. So by default, all traffic will go from high to low interface is allowed. It's only inspected implicitly for TCP and UDP. You sit on the inside and try to do a ping. Although the ping will go out because all traffic is allowed from high to low, but when it will come back, there will not be any entry for the return traffic. So it will blocked. So how do you allow the traffic from other side? That means from low to high. For that, I need to create a ACL, access control list. The ACL will need to explicitly allow the initiated traffic. By default, the traffic coming from low to high is blocked. If you do wanna allow it, you need to explicitly permit statement to allow that traffic that is initiated from outside to come in. The ACL will also help for the ping traffic. You will need to put an explicit entry for the ICMP traffic as well. Let's talk about same security level. What happens if you have two interface with same level of security? Let's I have put this as 50 and put this as also 50. So if you have two interface with the same security level, the traffic will be blocked and even an ACL will not help. By default, when you have two interface with the same security level, all traffic is blocked. Even an ACL will not help you. So this is something you will do when you don't want two interfaces talk with each other. This one we already discussed. Let's recap this. By default, all traffic is allowed from high to low. Only TCP and UDP traffic is inspected. Inspection creates a return entry in the connection table on the firewall. This allows the return traffic to come back. This is known as stateful inspection. How about low to high? By default, all traffic is blocked from low to high. You can make that exception by explicitly creating an ACL. If your packet comes as a return traffic, it first checks the connection table. If connection table doesn't have it, it will check the ACL for permission. If nobody has the entry, it's gonna block it. Alright? So that is the default traffic flow through the firewall. This is the same security level traffic. By default, any traffic going from an interface that has the same security level as the destination interface, it will be blocked. Even an ACL will not help you in allowing this traffic. The last thing in this particular video that I want to discuss is your to the traffic and through the traffic. Now the ACL high to low and low to high, what I am already talking about, is the traffic which is going through the firewall. So I have an interface over here. I have another interface over here also. This is my inside network. We talk about high to low, that should be allowed, and low to high, that should be blocked. When you have any ACL that will allow the traffic from low to high, all these for through the traffic. It doesn't pretend any true traffic. Next, what is true traffic? If somebody wants to hit a service on my firewall, the destination of the packet is the firewall interface. Whether it's from outside, whether it's from inside, whether it's from DMZ, it doesn't matter. The destination is the firewall interface. It's not through the firewall, it's to the firewall. That traffic is not controlled by ACL. So, how do I control to traffic? It's done by turning on the services. For example, if somebody wants to do telnet to the firewall, the telnet service needs to be running on the firewall. The only service that is turned on by default is the ICMP service. So by default, anyone or everyone can ping the firewall from outside to outside and from inside to inside interface. So you can't go through it, but you can go to it. That is controlled by ICMP service. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please do comment and subscribe the networking tutorial channel. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned with me for the next video. Thank you so much.